We are back, folks. That's right. We are back to Kathy Rain. Welcome in. Thank you for joining Midweek Point and Click. We are starting Kathy Rain to Soothsayer for the first time. Had this installed for a while now, ready to go while we completed Grim Fandango. Hope you're all doing well. How are you doing, Steve? Are you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Cool. What have you
Okay.
been up to?
Not much. Did stream of chorus last night,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, not much other than that.
Nice. No recent surgeries or anything like that?
Was one, yeah, a couple of days ago.
Mm. And
I
you
try not
reckon?
to talk because I'm turning into that guy of like, how do you know someone's just had surgery? Don't worry, they'll tell you, guy.
Well, you've only ever
But
had one surgery, so you can't be that
yeah,
guy.
it's the first. Well, the first one going under general. I've technically had one, but wasn't in a hospital and wasn't. It was just local.
Yep.
Went to a plastic surgeon, but looking at me, you'd never guess that. But yeah, it wasn't for cosmetic stuff. It was to get something removed.
Don't be so harsh. All right. Well, I'm glad you're recovering well. It's not too bad. You're doing way better than I was. That's for sure. Getting your
Today
wisdom.
was maybe a bit rougher, but I'm still doing okay. But like, yeah, one of my cheeks is puffed up even more
Yep.
and is now a bit more painful.
Do you have any of the So I had yellow bruising down my neck all the way down to my sort of collarbones, which apparently is normal because the where the blood flows from your wisdom teeth, it just follows the channel, so to speak.
Right,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, not sure if you've got that or if you've noticed that, but yeah, that was definitely a thing.
No, it could be I didn't notice it if it's subtle, but no, I haven't gotten that. I thought you were going to say bruising because I've got the sore throat from the air tube or the throat tube
Oh,
or whatever they call it.
I thought you'd be used to having, big things like that.
I went a little bit further down than usual.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. We got Keith Squared in the house. How you doing, Keith? Welcome in. Good to see you. Absolutely. I'm not sure if you joined us for Kathy Rain many years. Oh, what do you reckon it was about a year and a half ago, maybe something like that? I don't remember
Yeah, because
exactly.
it's one of the ones from a while ago.
Mm. Um, Very loved by the point and click community for sure. I feel that after we streamed it, we
A
saw a bunch of other
100%
people.
certified got 'em.
Tongs, how you doing? We saw a lot of other people stream Kathy Rain as well. I know Spacer did. Ripple as well, who has rated us before. She was playing it the other day, which was cool. Good to see the Kathy Rain love for sure. Not sure exactly where this one's going to go because the first one, whew, that went places. Oh, okay. Well, we've got no recap because, I mean, we haven't played this game yet. But essentially, I could probably try and remember what happened in the first game. Kathy is a biker journalist. She gets word that her grandpa is very ill and wheelchair bound. And so you go back to your hometown to go visit your grandpa. And I believe he passes away, maybe just before you get there. So you actually go to investigate why, because apparently he was very, very chipper until suddenly one day he was very ill, and you find out essentially that there's some weird things going on in the town. Um, Essentially, what happened? Long story short, I guess you meet up with his. He had World War II buddies, I believe. He was a fighter pilot or something like that, and they all witnessed something spooky and weird together. And I think slowly but surely they were all being sort of taken out, except for the one that owns the military base. Essentially, you go and chase up these leads, and you find out that there is like this Lost Woods slash Scooby Doo Door Monkey Island thing where there's like a poppy field, and in the poppy field, well, there's also there was a young girl that drowned, I believe, as well, who was being drawn in by this guy called the Crimson One, I believe, which is basically bald Jared Leto in a red suit, and you end up confronting him down in this hole in the poppy field, and where he tries to bring out the absolute worst. He's kind of like a Pennywise stand-in, really. And You find out that the ghost of your unborn child is there, sort of mocking you and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, you end up taking him out, taking out the big bad, and you save the day. That's a long abridged version, but it was very cool. Oh, we got Tickle Bits in here too. Hello, hello, welcome in. Steve, was there anything else you think I missed? Important strokes of Kathy Rain 1?
Yeah, I don't remember much. I remember the shift from the because it's the one with that end bit had like various levels and you're taking the elevator up and down. And it's like a hell world, right?
It was a hell world, yeah. It was sort of like
Yeah, and it's
your
it's like
grandma's
different
family
floors.
home. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember it just being like, oh, nice inverted murder investigation, and just takes this huge turn. I guess almost like a Twin Peaks style turn where like it's a murder mystery at the start and then it becomes about the Red Room, and
Yep. Yep.
had that sort of feel for it, maybe a little bit less, like a little bit more logical, I guess, but then with its own quirky stuff, like less quirky stuff than Twin Peaks, or
Yep.
but yeah, I sort of remember that, and then the end is kind of like what most point, like unfortunately most point and clicks sort of turn into that. There's this weird, like the final act is kind of always a lot of the times the same, where it's just that last, like you're in a temple or a hell world or something, and you just last series of puzzles, and then gives you the story.
Yep. I guess we forgot to mention as well the avatar that you are during this stream. He was a character in Kathy Rain 1 where he was a washed up actor that we used several times and we ended up tasing him as well. He was a weirdo. So I thought that would be good for Steve in this
And
round.
it was very similar to, and I kind of like him because he's like, yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait, which I wouldn't know the name of that guy except with you. You always know, you always, for ages it was like, that's the Police Academy and Scrooge guy, and you would always know his name, and now I've sort of remembered it.
Yep. He was also a director of a Bigfoot film that I've seen. It wasn't too bad. All right. Well,
It was on the Gilbert Gottfried podcast, and it was.
I think
This is something I
everyone's
didn't
been
know
on.
about him. Apparently, on his stand-ups, he would make jokes about Bill Cosby being a rapist, but it was before anyone knew. So,
he had inside knowledge.
well, no, that's what because Gilbert Gottfried raised that, and he's gone. By the way, I just want to make sure everyone knows I didn't actually know. And he goes, the part of the joke was he was a family guy, like family entertainment guy. So the joke was the thing. I actually didn't know. It's not like I kept it to myself, but did jokes about it. So he did that back. But then he goes, yeah, I had a strange feeling about Bill Cosby, and that's what made him do those jokes.
It's all the
other
pudding
side of it. But so it was just kind of coincidence from him. But I can't imagine you'd ever, like, if you knew, you would. I can't imagine you have to be a complete monster to like make jokes about it but not tell anyone.
True.
But yeah, that was like a thing where it's just coincidence that all these tasteless jokes he was doing end up being completely true.
All right. Well, let's get cracking. We'll see how this turns out. I've only seen the title screen while I was setting up the OBS, but it's pretty good. Hopefully this works. There we go. Look at that. Woo! Raw Fury. I'll share as soon as I'm on the title screen, Steve. Like that.
I don't often get asked to give out some more juice, so that's pretty nice.
Oh, Steve could use some juice? Oh, wow. Steve's normally very loud. Okay, let's crank the Steve then. There he is. Just don't scream in my ears, Steve, because it's very loud in my head. All right, let's see. Here we go. This is shared to you now. You should see that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's very similar to the original opening, I think.
Yeah, I think
Or maybe
down
it's
the road.
interstitial shield ride place to place.
There we go. Oh, I like the what do they call it? Parallaxing or something with the background moves.
Yeah, it was kind of 3D-ish because that thing the building seems to move into the distance. So I guess it's 2D and just scaling out. That is kind of neat. A new development with my recovery as of like last night, and I've got it worse this morning. So I must have some swelling at the back of my throat.
Okay.
And now that little, I always forget its name. Other people usually know its name. But you know the dangly bit at the back of the throat?
The speedball boxing thing. Yep.
Yeah, it's touching the back of my tongue, and it's really, really annoying.
Nice.
Constantly feels like there's something back there that I've got to swallow. A
You-
vulva. Wait, isn't that
Urethra?
something only women have?
It's a uvula, not a vulva. God. Read again. Okay, cool. Let's start. Oh, before we start, how's the volume, everyone? The game's okay? It's funny that they advertise Whispers of a Machine, because this game came out like 15 years ago.
I just noticed that. Well, I guess it's the same developer.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. We highly recommend that playing Kathy Rain before Kathy Rain 2. Do you want a recap? Oh, yeah, let's do a recap. Why not? Let's see what it looks like. See if they did better than us.
In 1995, my grandfather died in Conwell Springs, my hometown. I returned for the funeral after being away since childhood.
This is actually a really cool way to do it.
Mm.
If Verdantry was here, he'd have a boner because of the Polaroids.
I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However, something happened to him in the woods, putting him in a vegetative state for over a decade.
So far, I'm bang on my recap.
To solve this mystery, I teamed up with Eileen Summers, my college roommate. A Christian nerd and a biker badass. It was a match made in heaven.
I was going to say she wasn't a biker badass, but Kathy's the biker badass.
A local church turned out to harbor a secret cult worshipping the malevolence in the woods, referring to it as the Old God.
Yeah, because she was our fact finder, wasn't she? We because she didn't come with us, but we called her, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But also she was kidnapped towards the end by the priest.
An endangered hallucinogenic flower, the red scythe, was somehow connected to the Old God's power.
Close enough to a poppy. So far, so good.
As we came closer to the truth, a servant of the Old God made himself known in dreams and visions, the Crimson One, a scheming trickster.
Jared Leto in a red suit, if you will.
Oh, it's better acting.
Oh, brutal.
Things came to a head when the priest of the corrupt church, Isaac Price, abducted Eileen, intending to offer her to the Old God. I managed to track them down and have Isaac thrown in jail, but Eileen was in a catatonic state and was about to suffer the same fate as my grandfather. I continued alone and found my way into a great field of red scythes in the depths of the forest. Greeted by the Crimson One, I descended into the Old God's bizarre realm, a place straddling the line between the physical and the otherworldly.
Yeah, that's right.
The powers of that place tried to break me. My past trauma was manifested and turned against me, including my shadow, an evil doppelganger.
Oh, that might be the doppelganger, because there's 3 pictures of her in Hell World, and then a nice portrait picture of her smiling at the camera.
Oh, that's evil her. That's
the
like
one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's like, I'm an evil version of you, is basically what she'd say. And then that was Mumsy. Mumsy was tied up because there was some family trauma about Mum.
We haven't seen
I defeated these foes
Army of
and
Darkness,
emerged back into the real world. As I left
not in a
Conwell
long
Woods, I set the flowers ablaze to eradicate the evil at its root.
That's right, she did.
You have seen it though? Because I thought you hadn't, because we
I've
went to
seen
the
it.
Evil Dead's at one stage. Okay.
I saw it in the same weekend that I first saw From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay.
So if that gives you an idea of how long ago that was.
That's a long time ago. But yeah, there's going to do the scene of like, I'm good, Kathy. I'm bad, Kathy. You're good, Kathy. I'm bad, Kathy. You're good, Kathy. That's actually a tongue twister. And then, no. There's that scene from.
Yeah, I don't remember it that well. That's for sure. Oh, that's right.
In my absence,
Well, the payoff.
Isaac Price took the coward's way out in his jail cell.
The payoff is that Ash shoots him with a shotgun at one point, and does that pan in, and his one-liner is, "I'm not that good."
When I returned, Eileen had awoken. She was safe. It was time for us both to go back home.
Okay, so first of all, the recap, really well done. I'm impressed. That's cool. All right, let's go. This game is intended for mature audiences and contains graphic depictions of horror, explicit violence, suicide, and rather disturbing imagery. Viewer discretion advised. Please press any key or mouse button to continue. Oh. Although this one's animated, we can see her. Oh, jeez. Oh man, how good's the pixel art? So good.
But, she's up on the couch.
We're closed.
Tongues will love that.
Yeah. What's that?
For fuck's sake.
With your guys' rules, is it okay to have it like dangling like that, or is it just absolutely not?
No, shoes shouldn't be on in the house, so absolutely.
Hey, kid.
Oh, Lucas.
Gee, what happened to you? Looks like somebody's been through the ringer.
You should mind your own business, old man, before I bring up your ex-wife.
Hey, now, I'm just looking out for a former student of mine. You're always my business.
Oh, I bet I am. That's the only way a has-been like you could ever stay relevant.
Ha! Yeah, that must be it. Now, you gonna invite me in and just let me stand here like an asshole?
Like an
Fine,
asshole.
come in then. You want some coffee?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got enough, old sis, thank you very much. That brew you make is rancid.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I wanted to do detective work, not dumb chores like some airbrained secretary.
Feigning incompetence, huh? Clever move.
I was about to say.
I guess
'cause
so.
I was about to say
I just wish
weaponized
that
incompetence.
shrewdness of mine
Sort
would
of
make me some
heard that
money.
as.
There's my segue. Did you hear the news on the Soothsayer?
I never took you for a sucker, Lucas. This is Cassidy. There's no way that reward is legit.
You're wrong. Mayor Adams is different. He's the real deal.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, because it just so happens that I was hired to find dirt on the guy. I got nada. Zip. He's a total Boy Scout.
Whatever. We're still talking about a serial killer.
Oh,
Do I
cool.
look suicidal to you?
Kinda. You passed out at noon, stinking of booze, and that eviction notice hanging over your head isn't doing you any favors.
That's none of your concern. I'm handling it. I just need a goddamn case. A normal case. Free of homicidal maniacs.
Don't know what to tell you, kid. Things are looking kinda dry on that front, you dig?
Oh, God. Please don't try to sound hip, Lucas. Your Dick Tracy imitation is cringeworthy enough.
I suppose you could always pawn off that bike of yours. Buy you another month or two.
Tell him, Mildred. Lose the Catmobile? I'd rather chop off my left tit.
I may be a has-been, but I'm fairly sure that self-mutilation won't do you much good. A couple $100K, on the other hand.
I love money just as much as the next girl, but, I mean, this isn't just a long shot. It's about as likely as Mildred turning vegan and taking up juggling.
Come on, one more case, for old time's sake. 50-50 split. How could anyone beat my rugged charm and your youthful vigor?
Lucas, we both know you're about as charming as a clown at a funeral. And the last time I saw my vigor was 3 tequila bottles ago.
All right. I know what I'm beating. I'll drop it.
Look, thanks for the tip. I might actually take a shot at that bounty, but you need to accept that we're not a team anymore. We had a good run, but I have my own thing going. Look, see? My name is on the frosted glass and everything.
I can respect that. You're not allergic to a little quid pro quo from time to time, though, are you?
Now, that I can do. That's how the world works anyway. It's all just an endless circle jerk of quid pro fucking quo.
I don't quite see things that way, but my door is always open if you'd like to discuss the case.
Sure. May the best woman win.
You telling me I'd look good in a dress? Later, kid.
Bye, Lucas.
Really good detail is the cat was looking out the window until Lucas came in, and now it's been licking itself and keeping an eye on him. And now it's back to the window. Very cool.
Well, it's
That's
not like I
great.
have anything better to do. I should have information on the Soothsayer somewhere in this room.
Nice. Man, this looks great. Now, is there a... Oh, yes. Hold spacebar to see everything you can interact with. Beautiful.
What bills? Never saw those. Nope, no siree.
Also, a good thing about this is there's not multiple, like, verb? Yeah, like different actions you can do.
Yeah.
It's just click once. If you can pick it up, you pick it up. If you can't, you look at it. Perfect.
Yeah. Maybe there's something about the killings in these papers. All right. I found a few interesting articles about the most recent murder.
The I'll put that cursor. This close it down. Yeah. The cursor before, it's not doing it now, but it looks like the Voltron symbol. This.
Thanks for the headache, you Mexican
yeah.
jerk.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Voltron. It's the one where the cats form a big, huge mech, right?
Yeah, I think I've got there's a symbol of that, but also I think there's another cartoon with like the roaring lion as a symbol, like it's it's one with Chitara.
The city we're in,
Thundercats? No.
unfortunately.
No, Thundercats were the cat people. They didn't had mechs or
Yeah,
anything.
didn't they have the symbol on the sword?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you could be right, actually. Yeah.
My biggest fan, as depressing as that is. Various reference books and technical manuals.
We don't have any movie posters this time round. We're a little bit more fresh.
Empty. All this gumshoe has left upon is her dignity.
Love a gumshoe.
An article in the Chicago Tribune about the Whitmore affair. My big breakthrough case last year. I've been meaning to get it framed, but I've been too busy with important things. You know, like drinking alone.
You notice, Steve, that this room is framed really nicely compared to Lamplight City?
Yeah.
When
Everything's
there's
in
new messages,
proportion,
it blinks.
proper
It's
perspective.
high-tech like that.
Mm-hmm.
The cat's not the size of the window.
Thankfully, I don't need to make any calls right now. Every time I pick that thing up, I pray there's still a dial tone. The yellow pages. Handy for looking up people and businesses.
We won't call just yet or look it up. We'll just continue looking around.
Just outdated casework. Can't bring myself to take them down.
I think, like, see how she's drinking the tequila, and that tequila is that bottle with the little sombrero lid, I'm sure of it. But have you ever just drank tequila from, like, I find that probably one of the worst spirits just to drink straight.
Yeah, probably is. Like, to me, well, until I drank that Crystal Skull vodka, like I had tequila and vodka in the same category, but vodka's maybe even a bit better.
Funnily
Yeah,
enough,
tequila's
though,
always rough when I had it.
my favorite cocktails are tequila cocktails. So when it's mixed with juice, it's the best shit ever. But by itself, woo.
My private investigator's license issued last year. I was worried how Lucas would react, so I applied for it behind his back. I couldn't have been more wrong, though. That old fart has been nothing but supportive since then. It's a plastic laminator, a machine used to encase paper and other thin objects in transparent plastic. I mainly use it for fake IDs.
Nice.
That cranky drawer is stuck good. I know Eileen had some magic trick to get it open. Too bad she's not around.
I'm just going to see if the dialogue is the same if I click it in.
That cranky drawer.
Yep, okay.
I should grab this in case I need to snap some shots.
Nice. Oh, and she's got the Thundercat symbol on her back as well.
My radio, with a built-in cassette player. I prefer the quiet right now.
I don't want to go to the living area yet.
Mildred's abode.
Mildred's the kitty. Nice. Oh, it looks a bit like Ram's.
Who's the best fluff ball?
Not so
Couldn't
much
agree more.
anymore. More long hair, maybe more like Taco.
Plotting world domination as usual, Mildred? I better get those pets in then. I've already caught myself a little serial killer, haven't I? Your secret's safe with me.
Where's Saku when you need her? Oh, I got an achievement. Couldn't keep your hands off the favorite fluff ball.
Looking for something to pounce on? Oh, I bet.
I love the cat Foley work.
Who's the cutest predator around here? Oh, yes, you are. Who's my perfect little killer? That's my vicious girl.
That's how Rams is when visitors come around.
Who's the best fluff ball? Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Oh, geez, make your bed, Kathy. Come on now.
That's fine.
Useful things for when the Catmobile needs a tune-up. Extra helmets. Eileen used to wear one of them when well, back when things were different. Every biker worth her salt has got a box like this somewhere.
The box of spare parts or something.
Yep. It's like how we always have a drawer filled with cables. I bet every single one in chat has that too.
I've got so much that I put mine in.
This might be
I've got a
useful.
plastic container, dedicated plastic box.
I don't know
I've got a
why
Google.
we
I've
can't
got a
throw
Google
away.
Doc. I've got a Google Doc spreadsheet that categorizes, or not categorizes, has a stock, the complete stock, what's in the box, so that I can look it up without digging through it.
Nice.
I've got too much at
I'll
one
live
point.
with my current face. Eileen and me, before Rain investigation started going downhill. We worked great together, didn't we? I wish things didn't have to go the way they did.
Mir?
Uh-oh. That's quite a tequila face you got there, Kathy.
Felix clock?
Keeps me in perfect timing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, coffee? Let's get a throat.
Ugh, don't make me hurl. I'm way too hungover for coffee.
Is that a thing?
Various spices and condiments, gathering dust. No time to do the stupid dishes. I've got a case to solve.
The stupid dishes. Hey, it's the second time we've seen a mug tree in a game.
Standard electric oven. Barely used. I better not open that. Wouldn't want the mold to spread.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A postcard left by Jimmy Cochran, that strange old geezer I met at a mental institution a few years ago. He was discharged a year after we met, and for some reason he seems to think I had something to do with it.
Oh, Jimmy Cochran.
It's a photo I took of the West End Bridge here in the city back in the day. Teenage Kathy had one of those artsy photographer phases.
Yeah, cats sure do like knocking things over. Ramen has a fascination with a golf ball. Because we've got tiles in the house, you'll just hear a golf ball randomly in the night just running along the floor, and you know that she's just going whoosh.
I better put that away later, for Mildred's sake.
There she is.
That little rascal has proven that, yes, cats can get drunk.
Oh, hello. It's got the cat drunk.
Yeah, Ramen likes to lick wine glasses that Lisa's left behind too. Cats love it.
She's actually gotten drunk from it?
Nah, just licks the rim.
Nah, no fun alone and sober. Still same old Cassidy. City of Gleam.
Cryptic chaos.
Oh, cryptic chaos. Can't wait till they're back in town.
Licking the
Manhunt.
Rim is usually
I
pretty
prefer
sexy.
their old material, but their latest album wasn't half bad.
What's that?
Licking the Rim is usually pretty sexy.
Jesus.
Maybe later. The red one goes better with this set. I shouldn't need to bring that. There's storage on the bike if I need it. Yeah, I figured the room needed some extra groove.
I've got a lava lamp. I never turn it on though. Get too hot. Oh, that's got a yellow icon on it. What does that mean? I think we've checked everything else. Or maybe not this actual.
My walk-in closet. It's a real mess in there. I better not open the door or I'd risk spilling all sorts of shit out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's it. Did we do the oven? I'm not sure if we did.
Standard electric oven. Barely used.
All right, let's click the bed and see what happens.
I wish, but if I don't shape up and get some work done, I'm gonna end up sleeping somewhere way less comfy.
Kathy will automatically go to bed when you've completed all daily tasks. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. All right, back in. We'll, suppose we can look at our inventory, see what's what. Just tab. Okay. Oh, we got our taser. Nice.
I call her Judy, the most stunning lady this side of the Mississippi. She's my electric go-to gal when things get rough. My lighter. Used to belong to my dad, but now it's mine. Plenty of fuel inside.
Okay. Oh, lockpicks.
My expert lock-picking set. Not many locks can withstand these little fellas.
Oh, a makeup brush will probably be used for fingerprints.
My trusty makeup brush, an oh-so-important part of stopping my face from making children run and scream.
Mm-hmm.
My Michiru instant camera. It's loaded with plenty of film.
Deborah Sinclair.
Not too bad off financially if she's got a Polaroid camera completely filled with film.
Soothsayer targets best-selling author Cassidy's serial killer hits high-profile victim. At age 49, the one and only Deborah Sinclair was tragically taken from us. She was stabbed to death on May 8th in her iconic cabin. The chilling signature mirror left at the scene made it clear that she'd been another Soothsayer victim. Deborah. Dock strikes continue. The city docks remain silent as workers' strike enters this week. Talks between union leaders and... We've got our little otter outdoor gear, camping, hiking, cycling, and fishing. Science fair winners announced. Bright young minds converged at the annual City Science Fair last weekend. Maria Chen, 15, secured top prize with an innovative water purification device, marking a promising step towards cleaner, greener future. Pest controls experts. What are these hands? Oh, I can scroll down, that's what. Okay. Grand opening at Marnie's, best new diner in town. Lovely. Riviera's mural finished. Renowned muralist Julio Riviera, latest masterpiece, finally adorns the city center, weaving a visual narrative of resilience, aspiration, and hope. Final Cassidy mine closed. On May 11th, the only remaining active mine in the greater Cassidy area ceased its operations, marking the end of an era. One cannot help but wonder if the city of Gleam would be able to find a new identity and fill the void that its most lucrative industry left behind. All right, back to the article. We are told by sources at the Cassidy Police Department that there were no signs of a break-in and no items of value were stolen. The cause of death came as no surprise: acute blood loss caused by sharp force trauma. Have you ever seen, Steve, in old school newspapers, like in the early 1902 and stuff, they would actually have photos of dead bodies in the actual paper itself?
Oh, really?
Messed up, yeah. The circumstances surrounding this crime are strikingly similar to the original casualty of Soothsayer, Rose Taylor, also a middle-aged woman stabbed to death in her home. This makes 5 victims in 3 months, and the lack of results in the case is starting to anger the citizens of Cassidy. Mayor Adams gave the following statement on May 11th. I'll be the first to admit that I hope to see swifter progress concerning the killings. We plan to evaluate more radical measures in the coming weeks. The Chief of Police had no comment. Plumbing repair and replacement 555-014-283. I wonder if we can call these numbers. All right.
The 555 numbers are famously reserved numbers, aren't they?
Oh, I mean in the game, on the game phone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Soothsayer vicious murders Deborah Sinclair. The famous writer has met an abrupt end. I'll read this in a second. We've got here something. A massive West Side power outage last night raises questions about Cassidy's aging electrical infrastructure and the urgent need for modernization and investment. Grand opening at Marnie's, best new diner in town. Historic statue vandalized. The iconic statue of Founder Square was defaced last night with the anarchist propaganda spread across its base. Authorities are investigating a worrying link to the ever-growing sprawl, Cassidy's equivalent of Los Angeles for infamous Skid Row. Turbo dealer, sports car specialist. Alright, here we go. We are devastated to report that the fifth victim of the Soothsayer was none other than acclaimed author Deborah Sinclair, one of the most recognized faces of Cassidy. Loyal readers of Sinclair may realize that the previous victim, Jane Doe, was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser, one of Sinclair's famous books. A simple coincidence, or do these murders have a deeper connection to the author? The murder occurred in Sinclair's famous writer's retreat near the border of the national park. The National Park Service, NPS, was the first at the site and is currently in control of the crime scene. As NPS lacks the necessary training and resources to conduct murder investigations, we should expect that the crime scene will soon be handed off to the Soothsayer Task Force at KPD. For now, the body has been transported to the morgue, awaiting clearance for the pathological examination. Chief Ranger Samuel Walker had a following comment. We are still establishing all the facts surrounding this crime. Please be patient. We want to do the right thing by Deborah. Deborah Sinclair was a longtime friend of the Gazette and led a prolific life, with more than 30 novels published during her lifetime. On this sad day, we mourn the loss of the cultural icon, and we pray that her death will be the last at the hands of Soothsayer.
All right, I think that's everything I've got on Deborah in here. When I'm ready to leave, I should be able to learn more about the other victims at the library.
Okay.
Artie Fine said he wasn't going to make it to this session because he's currently pulling a double shift of 13 hours.
Ooh, like a double 13 hours or double shift to make
A double shift, it's 13 hours altogether. So he's picking up someone else's shift and they overlap a little, so 13 hours altogether.
Damn, that sucks. Alright, let's click on notebook, see what happens.
Cassidy's first and only serial killer.
That's right.
The only thing standing between me and a massive payday.
Payday's a chocolate bar, right?
Deborah Sinclair, celebrity author
American
and one of the most
I don't
famous
remember it.
Cassidy residents. She was recently stabbed to death by the Soothsayer. Maybe I can find out where that cabin of hers is located. Someone has to know where it is.
I'm just gonna see if clicking it will give the same.
Deborah Sinclair, celebrity author.
Okay. It'd be nice if it sort of made these like a hyperlink go purple when we've done it. Oh well.
I should be able to learn more about the Soothsayer at the library.
Okay. We have the phone book though. I think when we clicked this last time. Oh, so the phone book just brings up your standard.
No dice.
Oh.
Hardly a shocker, she was a celebrity.
Yeah.
Huh. I wish it was that easy.
Call them up. Tried to wrap up the case before it began achievement. That's funny. Just call up the serial killer. Love it. All right, I reckon that has covered everything. Let's say hello to Mildred one more time.
Plotting world domination as usual, Mildred?
So
I better get those pets in then.
Okay, to Cassidy. Gonna gonna ride the motorbike. Oh yeah.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
Oh, this is fun. This is really good. What a cool map screen. Spacebar. Yep, we know that. That's good. Thank you, game.
No thanks. Ballet is not my kind of scene. Nah, I got one at home. That an actual avocado tree? Sure looks the part.
Do you think we're going to be feeding any tree coffee this game, Steve?
Oh, was that the tree coffee with the first one?
Yeah, in the police
Yeah, it was,
station.
wasn't it? Yeah. Let's kill some more plants.
Yep.
A plaque with some prominent donors. Interestingly, Deborah Sinclair is listed here. So apparently if there's a fire, I'm supposed to run through those gigantic double doors 10 feet away. Phew, I'm saved. Ugh, plenty of bad memories from this place. Being forced here for school was the worst. The old librarian lady was the meanest hag you could imagine, and she had it out for me from the start. A workstation for the librarian. If I need to search for books, I could use the computer down the hall.
Okay. Oh, magazine rack. Any ones with black slips?
A bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like. You can rent one of those if you lack a fixed address. Let's hope things don't come to that.
It's fun that even though it's like a pixel art game, there's still God rays coming through the window, but like with a shader, not digitalized, like pixelized.
If I need a book, I should use the computer. Some local hero from the Civil War, I think? Well, either that or Beethoven. That guy gets around. Anything I print should appear here. I think that includes printouts from that microfilm viewer at the end of the hall.
I always see that in movies, the microfilm viewer, where you look at newspapers from the past, where they scroll through. Never seen one in real life though.
When I was little, there was some at the local library. I remember whenever I go there with parents, but I'd never always see them from a distance. Never got to play with them, but yeah, that's the one time I've seen them.
It's this year's calendar. Could be useful in a GIF, but I think I'll talk to the librarian first.
Well, ask the librarian if we can steal the calendar. Okay.
Microfilms containing images of scanned newspapers. They're organized by calendar date.
Okay.
Some antique world map centered on the US. 1800s, maybe?
Wow, it's weird to see Australia all the way on the left.
Yeah. It's also like all the water's in the middle.
Yeah, it's the ice wall.
It's one of those advanced microfilm viewers. I'll need to insert a microfilm to use that.
Alright, I'll quickly go speak to the librarian. You know, Lee's wife is a librarian.
Okay. Does she have strong views about the Dewey Decimal System?
Oh, I bet she would, yeah.
Hi, I need some help, please.
Of course. How can I be of assistance?
No, it's usually Australia's on the right-hand side. Africa is more centered in the middle, and then the US is on the left, from memory.
Yeah, like ours isn't different from the Google Maps standard.
I'm looking to
I
find
don't
some
mean like, yeah,
information on the
transfers.
Soothsayer.
Ah,
The projection
quite
called
a few
Mercator.
people have taken
Ours
an
is very similar.
interest in that case lately.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Ahem. Yes. I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. We have full scans of all of the major newspapers dating all the way back to the 50s.
Perfect. I should be able to browse those for some articles about the murders.
Indeed. If I may ask, what is your own interest in the case?
I'm a PI.
You probably heard there's a reward, right?
There you go.
I'm a PI, and money is tight, so...
I see. I suppose we each have our own ways to make a living.
I don't trust this man. I was thinking the same thing, Keith. There is a little bit of a weirdness about it. He reminds me of the you know, the actor that plays Faramir in Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say David Wenham.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you
He's
know
also
about
in
Deborah
the-
Sinclair?
Australian
Quite a
TV
bit.
show Sea Change.
Do you have a more specific line of inquiry?
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's retreat, stabbed to death. The police say the MO was similar to the other victims, with the shattered mirror and all that.
Where's this writer's retreat located exactly?
There's an area called Bear Creek, just on the border of the national park. Sinclair owned a small cabin there.
All right, got it.
Think
That's a
we'll be
decent
cruising there.
drive, so I think I'll head out there tomorrow.
Ooh.
So we use a standard map. By standard map, it was the one where 0 degrees latitude is in the dead center and it goes up to negative 180 on each side.
Yeah, it seems
That's
less
our map, and that's
egotistical
why-
that way.
Yeah, that's why we're on the right.
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's
Oh.
retreat.
Okay.
What kind of books did Deborah write?
She dabbled in many different genres over the years, but her main bulk of work could probably be defined as horror, mystery, or a combination of the two. Afflicted, Dead Ends Meet, and the Jenny Payne trilogy are some of her most well-known titles.
Huh, okay. Was she working on a new book when she died?
I believe so, yes. But I don't have any details to share.
Was Deborah a popular author?
Oh, yes. Even before her death. Afterwards, her popularity has reached astronomical levels.
I can imagine. Borrowing one of her books now is out of the question, right?
Correct. 6 months wait minimum.
Oh, you just go to the bookstore
Yeah, I figured.
Walden Books, Dimmicks, wherever you need to go. The Sun Theatre bookshop. You like that place, Steve, at the Sun Theatre? The little bookshop that's attached?
I don't think I've ever been to it.
Oh, we
I
may
haven't been
get
to
a
the Sun
stop.
Theatre in ages.
Oh, okay.
I think Prometheus was the last film I saw at the Sun Theatre.
Last movie I saw at the Sun Theatre was when the Bring Her Back, where the woman had a seizure in front of us. About 2 weeks
Oh, wow.
ago.
What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had quite an interesting life. Adopted as a child, and her adoptive father, Sebastian Willis Sinclair, was an accomplished author in his own right. Deborah's birth mother was a young homeless woman, and her father was a Native American. Deborah spent much of her life trying to track down her biological father, unsuccessfully. Perhaps in some part due to her roots, Deborah's books have often contained subject matter inspired by Native American religion. She was childless and unmarried when she passed away. Rumors say she was gay, but God knows tabloids are quick to jump to conclusions. I don't think she ever clarified that matter to the public. If you are curious to learn more, I would highly recommend her acclaimed autobiography, Unbound.
Oh, I might check that out. Thanks for the information.
Interesting that all her books are rented out, not rented, but like booked out. But the autobiography is like, oh yeah, we got shitloads of those out
Yeah.
back. What does Chakotay say? A Kuchimora? Is that what he says? Kuchi something?
Yeah, Akuchimoya, Moya. And then he
Oh,
usually says something in English afterwards. Sometimes when he
yeah.
elaborates.
It's like something like
Something
my
from my
bones
people.
to your bones, even though we're far apart, something or other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched. I didn't really like this episode much. It was the episode where it starts off where all of the Voyager people are bad guys, and they call
Oh, I love that
Chakotay
one.
Chakotay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I didn't like is, I hope that episode's not canon, because where it ends up kind of tells you that Doctor was abandoned, in a sense.
Just a backup of him.
Oh, okay. Then that's not too bad.
That was like a. So still with the ship, but that's just a backup that was left behind. That they sort of that's why it took them effort to restore it.
Yeah. Maybe I like the episode more now. Now
Yeah,
that you say
he's still with the crew, but also like it starts off like, oh, this is going to be okay. Voyager's doing a mirror episode, and then it completely changes. Like it's not a mirror episode at all, but still has that naughty aspect of Janeway executing people, and was it Harry Kim that's beating someone senseless, and then Tuvok's gone to stop roughing him up, and then because he's going to do even more elaborate torture.
Yeah, and then Harry gets like a wrench, and then the Doctor comes in saying that wrench will kill him, so go easy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the Doctor was an android, not a hologram. It's interesting.
Yeah, and then Seven was in like full Borg, and she had a whole Borg hive on board the ship. Yeah.
Well, it kind of makes sense because, like, for some reason, Seven has like 4 Borg pods normally, and I always wondered why are there 4 there when she only needs 1.
Yeah, but I think it's also the telling the story. You would just assume that that's what she would look like, and she'd have her own thing.
What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had.
I already know
Perhaps
this one.
she.
Yeah.
If you are.
Oh, I might.
Unbound. Okay.
I'm looking to find some information on the Soothsayer.
Quite a few.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Yes. I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall.
What year?
We have full scans of all of the major newspapers
we already
dating
know
all
this.
the way back to the 50s.
Perfect.
50s.
I should
Okay.
be able to browse those for some articles about the murders.
Okay.
Indeed. If I may ask.
You.
I see.
Okay. 50s. All right.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
Yeah, we still have bookstores, Tongs. Not as many as there used to be, but there's definitely artisanal bookstores around.
Yeah, there was a. Was that big? It was Dimmicks, wasn't it? The big American chain? No. Yeah, Dimmicks is the big American chain that was introduced at one stage, right?
Is Dimmicks American? I'm not sure. I always hear about people talking about Walden Books, but not Dimmicks. But
Yeah,
The
there's a bookstore called Reddings in Lygon Street, and that's infamous. And I think it was Dimmicks. No, Borders. That's what I'm thinking of.
Borders. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They set up one right next to it, right up opposite, and it was like it was very much like the Sleepless in Seattle style, like indie bookstore versus the big mega one. And I think the mega one finally closed down, but the Borders. But yeah, it was up against the Reddings, and it was kind of an insult because Reddings has a history where at a time when certain books were blacklisted, Reddings still sold them. So it's like they fought against censorship, and the censorship was about abortion. Anything that was pro-abortion or considered pro-abortion was banned, and that would still just show basically both sides that would not bow to that kind of censorship, and that's why that's always been legendary. And that's why it would be missed if it was destroyed, because the Borders, of course, would just kowtow to any sort of blacklisting.
Yeah, there's something very very Australian about being sort of anti-capitalism as well, in a sense, that big bookstores will fail against little bookstores like that, like you mentioned, Steve, but also like pizza joints. Like Australians prefer to have like a local pizza joint to like a Domino's, things like that.
Domino's is generally disgusting.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say disgusting. It's middle of the road. It's like the absolute bare minimum for a pizza.
and Tongs, yeah, coffee. You're right. Like
Yeah,
Starbucks,
we're the most snobbish about coffee.
Starbucks is doing really poorly because we just have so many like local cafes and things like that.
It's just Starbucks. Most of their traffic is from international students, so usually they're around universities and stuff.
There was one that's nearish to me, within 10 kilometers away, that was firebombed and burnt down, and now
wow.
they're rebuilding it. It was attached to a service station though, so because that's the worst thing. Like service station coffee, I'm not sure if you've ever had that before. Like BP will usually have like Bean Roasters Express or some stupid name like that, and it's always garbage because it's the petrol pump dude making your coffee, where he's clearly not a barista. So they sometimes attach like a Starbucks or something like that to it. But Australians still don't want Starbucks ever. The only time where I found one country where I would prefer to go to a Starbucks was in Germany, because they had their like 9 times out of 10 the coffee was out of a machine, just like one of those 7-Eleven style press one button and it just spits out coffee. But their local cafe is called Ballsack Coffee, which I think is a hilarious name. But otherwise, Starbucks is like, that's where you'd get a real made coffee. All right, computer. Well, that was a good animation. She just sat on the chair like Riker. Oh. What was the name of that book? I forget what it was. Her biography?
Outbound?
Unbound. There it is.
Oh, I just remembered it.
Nice. Good one. Deborah Sinclair and Stephen Collins, publication date 1996. So the 10th of April? No.
It's sold out though. I mean, booked out.
Unavailable. Okay. Deborah Sinclair's long-awaited autobiography outlines the author's tumultuous life and rise to worldwide dominance. The book takes in the form of a series of interviews by Sinclair's longtime friend and colleague Stephen Collins. This will probably be American date, so the day in the middle, the 4th of October. Oh, no, that's... Trying to remember what the other books were to look. We'll get back to that in a second. Actually, I'm going to quickly go ask. I want to know about the... He says they're all sold out, but I actually want to confirm that for myself. Can you, Steve...
One more thing.
Yes?
Get ready to take a screenshot of the name of these books, because there's
Can
3
I
of
pick
them.
your brain about Deborah Sinclair again?
Sure. What are you curious about?
This one maybe?
What kind of books did Deborah write?
She dabbled in many different genres over the years. Afflicted,
This.
Dead Ends Meet,
Right.
and the Jenny Payne
Hang on.
trilogy are some of
click
her
again, I'll
most
just make sure.
well-known titles.
It does it
It's been
automatically.
Huh, okay. Was she working on a new book when she died?
I got it anyway.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Afflicted and Jenny Payne and
Thanks.
Dead Ends Meet.
I'll come back if I have more questions.
Okay.
Very well. Good luck.
Oop, that's not how you spell afflicted. Okay. Unavailable. Kiona Thunderheart, a Native American tribeswoman and daughter of the chief, is forced to hunt down and kill her own father after she becomes possessed by a Wendigo and threatens the whole village. I love Wendigo stories. Stage Fright Jenny Payne 1. Final Theatre The Absurd, Jenny Payne 2. Oh, there's the trilogy. That's
Yeah, it's it's a series.
okay. Unavailable. Jenny Payne, a traveling magician and illusionist, solves crimes around America using deduction and trickery. Okay. Theatre of the Absurd. Second chapter of Jenny Payne's saga brings her to Europe to investigate her family's mysterious dark past. This sounds like Gabrielle Knight. Final curtain.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
The stakes are higher than ever when Jenny Payne is locked up in jail and framed for murder. Can she escape and clear her name to stop the murderer from killing again? Okay. Dead ends meet. Okay. Distant lonely couple falls in love after meeting in a vivid shared dream. The pair becomes obsessed with reuniting to the real world, whilst the opposite of every turn, Mr. Clock, a mysterious and ruthless adversary. Okay, cool. If we just search for her name, what was her name again? Deborah what? Sinclair. Oh, I could have just done it this way. Whoa, she's got a lot actually. Thorns
There's
of the
also
Law.
the outline of Kathy in the computer.
Oh yeah, that's cool. First person
It
Kathy.
reminds me of that. Yeah, it reminds me of that video playing game we played.
Yeah, telling lies.
Mm.
Three estranged friends are compelled to reunite in their hometown to confront a haunting memories of their childhood. Soon questions arise. Was the old gardener lady called Nettles truly a witch? And what actually happened when the fourth member of their group, 8-year-old Johnny P, mysteriously disappeared? I just realized it's Independence Day for America, right? Yeehaw!
Yeah.
The truth is darker than anyone can imagine, and they will come to learn the true reason why they were summoned here. Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser is an epic tale of a Native American warrior who sets out on a great quest to save his tribe from American settlers in the 1800s. We should watch Prey. Okay, final curtain. The guidance. We haven't read this one. For the sake of mental clarity, David Walker leaves a successful business behind to retreat to a remote forest cabin. Evermore. Hannah's dating...
The Badum Tish was the closest I could get to gunfire for Independence Day. So that's my Independence Day thing.
Okay. I remember Hannah has the Independence Day speech, and he plays it slowly, and it sounds exactly like Donald Trump, which is gross.
Who did that? Or what was it?
On Hatta's stream, he has a sound alert for the Bill Pullman
Okay.
Independence Day thing, but if you slow down Bill Pullman, it's just Trump.
Yikes.
Hannah's dating life has been a whirlpool of charm and mystery. Every man she meets seems to be perfect, yet something is strangely askew. Beneath their different faces and personalities is an inexplicable familiarity that she can't seem to shake. As Hannah tries to piece together these patterns, she begins to question not only her choices, but the very nature of the men that drew her. I read a thing yesterday in the car while Lisa was driving. Apparently a dude had 37 plastic surgeries. Like, apparently this is a true story. A dude had 37 plastic surgeries and changed his name so he could date his ex-girlfriend that has a restraining order on him. Isn't that weird?
Wow. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Microfilm shelves.
Microfilms containing images of scanned newspapers. They're organized by calendar date.
Today, walking tour once around Berlin, and the guide told the story of when there was the war was up and it was East Berlin and West Berlin. There was a guy got separated from his wife, so his girlfriend. So his girlfriend was stuck in East Berlin while he was in West Berlin, and so he started dating a woman that looked just like his girlfriend, and so they went, and then they said, "Oh, let's go for a day trip in East Berlin," and then suddenly disappeared, and her passport disappeared too, and basically went to his girlfriend, and they both crossed together and left her hanging.
Screwed someone over big time.
I was fascinated by that because, I don't know, because I sort of struggle with dating. Like the idea of the idea of that guy just finding, just going, "I'll find someone that looks like her and I'll charm her." Like that's sort of an alien concept to me. I could see it happening the opposite genders, I guess, for some reason, but that's like, geez.
It's one of those advanced microfilm viewers. I'll need to insert a microfilm to use that.
Oh, maybe we use the calendar here? Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's see here. It would take ages to look through all the microfilms since the killings began, so maybe I can figure out on what date the murder prior to Deborah's occurred. Hopefully I can deduce the date of the previous murder from the articles I picked up at the office. When I have a good date written down, I can view the corresponding microfilm and look for useful information.
Okay.
Alright, I've got a date written down. I can use that to find the corresponding microfilm.
That's so good that we don't actually have to do the busy work. She just does it. What was it though? It was... Or maybe we just go over and...
No. I don't think this date I've got written down is good. I can't waste time by checking every date. I should look for the date of the previous murder in the sequence before I browse the microfilms.
Okay.
Wait, then.
That's... Okay, hang on.
And what's the second paragraph down there? Like, reason claim I realized the previous victim, Jane Doe, was slain on the publication anniversary.
Of Storm Chaser. Okay.
Okay, so we look up Storm Chaser and then, yeah.
Yes, that is neat. Okay. There's not 25 months in the year though, so I think we might be screwed. 20...
Yeah, that's a completely invalid date.
Yeah, damn it. What are we gonna do, guys? Credits roll? Okay, 25th of April, 1987. Oh,
We're still in May. It doesn't make sense to browse any later dates.
oh, okay, April. Was it? I think it was the 25th, right? Yeah, it was. So now, if we go back, oh, not that, but
It's one of those advanced Yeah, this date should be good.
yes.
I'll search through a week or so of microfilms, starting from the date I've written down. Hopefully I can find some useful information on the previous victim. Yes, there we go. I'll have these printed.
Beautiful.
All right, rinse and repeat. I should try to determine the previous microfilm date based on the information in these new pages. That way I can make my way back from article to article, victim to victim, until I get all the way to the first murder. Let's see here.
Okay. St. Andrew's Church Easter tragedy. St. Andrew's Church Easter concert ended horrifically when the conductor Martin Schultz suffered a fatal heart attack. The concert was a cherished tradition and attended by the many who are now mourning Schultz's untimely passing. The church plans to hold a memorial service. Okay. Dirt race extravaganza imminent. The annual Cassidy Dust Rally is soon to take place in various locations around the greater Cassidy area, drawing from adrenaline junkies around the state, featuring rugged terrains and challenging courses. The event promises an exhilarating experience for racers and spectators alike. Local businesses are gearing up for an influx of visitors. Safety measures are being rigorously implemented to ensure exciting and secure racing experience for all. The event takes place over the course of 3 days, starting May 1st. Okay. Keith says, I never know which way is right, to be honest. Well, smallest to largest makes a lot of sense. Day being the smallest unit, month being the next, and the year being the next after that. Also, when you ask somebody the date and they say it's the 6th of June, you would say that's the 6th day in June. For someone to go, oh, that's June 6th, that would be saying June the 6th day, which doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Could
Burns.
say June the 6th, but I guess the issue with the American format is it goes up and down. It's the medium period, and then the short period, and then the long period. As opposed to with us, it's like digits, it's going up.
Yep. Soothsayer burns Jane Doe alive. Interesting that she was burned rather than stabbed like the other one. Infamous soothsayers cranked up the heat on this killing spree. Can your journalists really use puns like that? And the latest victim, a young woman in her early 20s, was determined to have been brutally burned alive on Constance Hill. The death occurred at the night of April 25th. Due to the state of the remains, Jane Doe's identity has been difficult to ascertain. Despite indications of dental work on the corpse, there was no matching dental records anywhere in the city, leading police to believe that the woman was not local. That's smart. The lack of a struggle could mean that the victim was incapacitated, and the condition of the body leaves little clarity on the matter. It could be like a spontaneous human combustion, like in Lamplight. Picking a public site like this was a risky proposition for the soothsayer, but he may have banked on the fact that the witnesses would assume that the fire came from a nearby fire pit. Mayor Adams offered this comment: "As unpleasant as it is, I must ask you to be patient. Let Ed," Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown, "and his team do their job. KPD has my full confidence in the matter, and the City Hall stands vigilant to assist any way we can." For extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend, see issue 842, right? 842. I might write that down somewhere. I'll write it in chat. 842. There we go. Okay. The renovation of the City Old West End Bridge is finally complete. 5 years in the making, the project enhances safety while preserving the historical character of the iconic landmark. Short on space? Rent a storage unit. A 555-014-019984. 1330-32. Tension at the town hall meeting over at the amusement park. The town hall meeting discussed the revival of the Lone Star amusement park. Took an unexpected turn when the father of one of the fatal victims of the infamous 1992 incident attempted to storm the stage. I wonder if that's like that, the water park where it has the loop-de-loop and people's teeth got caught in the cement.
Oh.
Luckily, police quickly handled the situation. Despite this incident, the overall sentiment with the meeting was positive, with many attendees expressing support for the park's modernization and commitment to the enhanced safety standards. Oh yeah, Action Park. You've never heard of the Action Park thing? It was
New Jersey.
Yeah, it's and there was also a one where a kid was decapitated as well on a water slide. I think it was a water slide.
Yeah, and there was one of the pools had lights in it, and people kept getting electrocuted. And then there was which is weird because it's one of those things that's done elsewhere, but you know those virtual skydiving things?
Oh yeah, like the indoor skydiver, big fan.
Yeah, it's had one of those. I think it's one of the first versions of those, but people got injuries on those because the operators didn't give a fuck and they would just turn it off when the 5 minutes was up.
Oh, so you could be
just drop.
You could be up like
halfway through.
Wow, and it's not a gradual like fade. It's like just a switch off.
Yeah, it's just switched off, and people will having sprained
Jesus.
elbow, wrists, and legs and stuff. Yeah.
They should make the floor like a trampoline or something, and have the fan underneath the trampoline. So if you do fall, like a netting or something. I don't know. I kind of want to do that because I'm scared of heights, but I would like to see what it feels like. But not if there's just switching it off at 2 stories high.
I don't think anyone else does that because that's one of the things where because there was an episode of The Dollop where they went through all the dangerous things and and when they were describing that one, I thought to myself, that's done everywhere. Like, so, and then when they described that, yeah, that just the operators don't care, and they're trying to get people through as fast as possible. Also, it's a park that has a lot of drunk people as well.
All right. The mayor pledged to consider all feedback, emphasizing the importance of reconciling the park's painful past with a hopeful future. Okay. Here we go. Here is old Egg Mitchell Brown. Photo credit. Okay. The Soothsayers claimed a fourth victim, an unidentified woman, estimated to have been 18 years old. Okay. The charred remains were found on the outskirts of Cassidy. I thought all the women were middle-aged. Doesn't matter. Anyway, near the overlook of Constance Hill. The cause of the death is yet to be determined. The Soothsayer victims do not seem to share any obvious similarities in terms of gender, age, occupation, or social class, and the killing methods, locations, and disposal of bodies are all different. However, all the killings have occurred within the greater Cassidy area over a period of 3 months, which would indicate that the Soothsayer is somewhat a local to the area. In related news, the Cassidy Chief of Police has recently announced that the investigation of these killings would be taken over by the newly created Soothsayer Task Force. Old Edgar said the following during the press conference on the day after the murders. As of the 1st of May, the so-called Soothsayer slayings will be investigated by a dedicated task force of 8 senior detectives handpicked from various divisions of the Cassidy Police Department. Rest assured, this elite group has every resource at their disposal. When asked whether or not the FBI would be involved, old Ed Mitch said, "There is no federal jurisdiction in this case. I have no further comment. We'll take it. The Gazette has frequently criticized the Cassidy Police Department for their errors in the past, but credit where credit's due. This is a step in the right direction." Okay. Jane Doe.
I know where Constance Hill is, but that's a fair distance from the city. Better save it for tomorrow.
Okay.
For now, I'll put Jane Doe on hold and see what I can find about the previous murder victim.
New location added. Sweet. Well, they did mention the... Where was it? No, this is the wrong paper. This one here. For extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend, see issue 842.
Microfilms containing images of scanned newspapers. They're organized by calendar date.
How are we going to find
It's
that?
one of those advanced micro...
Is there a date on the paper? Because assuming it's a daily paper, if you look at the issue of the one that you were just reading, I should be able to work out how far back it was from there, right?
Blanks, how you doing? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, so 843.
Where are you seeing that?
That was the previous page, had the issue number.
Hello?
Hello, Baltimore.
Oh,
845,
Looks
sorry.
like someone subscribed.
845.
I'm gonna give
So
them a
3 days
face
before
waterfall
this.
of blood.
So April...
It was 842?
Yeah, it's in
Was it-
chat. 842 is what I've written.
Oh,
So
yeah.
3 days before this, 26th of April.
Yep.
Psycho Lanks, how you doing?
Oh my god.
26th. Come on, please be right.
Worth a shot? Rats. I was hoping to find issue number 842 here. I guess the Sun is not a daily paper.
Ah, so
Oh,
it's-
and Jane Doe died on April 25th to boot, didn't she? That's the day before this. Seems unlikely that the murders were that close.
So it's not a daily paper. Interesting. Okay.
yeah, I was thinking weekly and I thought, no, newspapers would be daily, but I guess the local rag isn't.
Let's see. Issue this. Maybe we can tell the difference between the...
Different newspaper, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. Cassidy Gazette. We are source of weekly news.
Okay, back 3 weeks then. Yeah.
3. Oh shit. Okay. 3 weeks.
I just go to the calendar. I just go to the calendar and then count back from there. Just going up rows, right?
So is this the one we had? The 25th?
Wasn't it 26th?
No, the 26th is what we. Hang on. Let's go back. Okay.
That's the 29th.
Oh, hang on, that's... Yeah, okay, so the 29th,
That's-
3
yeah.
weeks before the 29th.
Yeah,
Okay, so here we are. 8th.
8th.
Psycho, this game is very good so far. Very, very good. You'll have to check the VOD because there is a cat scene that you will appreciate.
Yes, this should be the right date.
Yes.
Let's see here.
These are good puzzles.
Okay, let's have a look.
Okay. Before we read the main stuff, let's see. Mo's Pawn Shop. Need cash now? We buy, we sell, we trade. 74 Hawthorne Street. Deborah Sinclair, book set for a Hollywood adaptation. Okay. Cassidy's own author, Deborah Sinclair, is making waves at the best-selling novel Thorns of the Wild is slated for a movie adaptation. Sinclair made the following statement: "It's about time. Hollywood hasn't been quick to recognize the cinematic potential of my work, and I sincerely hope this marks the beginning of great collaboration. To all my fans out there, rest assured that I will retain full creative control. I won't let anyone ruin my babies." Yes.
That always works out.
Yeah. King's Bed, the Regal Choice, 25th anniversary sales. With you every step of the way. Hamilton Funeral Services. Deacon. Chief of Police phone hacked. Unidentified phone hackers, so-called freakers, hijacked the phone line and prank called. Thank goodness I said prank call. I hate it when people call it a crank call. It doesn't make sense because the whole idea of it's a prank. Anyway, hijacked the phone line and prank called the chief of police last week, shouting obscenities and sexual innuendos. According
Crank is a type of phone, isn't it? Or am I thinking of something else?
there's crank generators. I don't know. Shouting obscenities and sexual innuendos. According to the statement by a chief of police, their motive appears to be a retaliation for the police raid on the Cybershack internet cafe last month. There was an ad for a spa later, and I hope Steve made a rub and tug joke.
I didn't actually. I didn't notice it.
Not this time. And with Steve, when it concerns rub and tugs, there's no jokes. Short on space, rent a storage unit. Wade Industries opens a new factory amid controversy, whichever one you say. Wade Industries' new factory complex in the city is open, promising thousands of jobs. However, the company's anti-union, for some reason I read woman, that's... the company's anti-union stance has sparked criticism. Rumors of the backroom deals quietening the unions of rife, leading to a divided public opinion. While many welcome the economic boost, others question the long-term implications for workers' rights and the integrity of the deal-making process. Okay. All right. Debate over reviving the Lone Star. The Lone Star, the once popular Western-themed amusement park on the old mining site in the 70s, may be revised and modernized. The facility was closed in 1994 after a series of accidents and ensuing lawsuits, but following the change of ownership, there are now tentative plans to resurrect the facility. City Hall has been aggressively investigating the entertainment sector as part of the wider strategy to promote Cassidy as a cultural hub, and this initiative would seem to align with that. Proponents argue that the Lone Star could boost tourism and the local economy, while critics raise concerns about the safety and the preservation of the site's historical value. Mayor Adams had the following comment: "While we honor the park's past, including its tragedies, we see an opportunity to create a safe, modern attraction that respects our history." City Hall has declared an open town hall meeting dedicated to this topic and will be held last month. All right, here we go. Soothsayer stages suicide of prolific Deacon. We are sad to report that a third member of a community has been taken out by the so-called Soothsayer, who appears to be Cassidy's first serial killer. The victim's name was Benedict Townsend. I thought it was Deacon. It was Benedict Townsend, 51. Our sources say that the death occurred on April 3, and that Townsend was likely murdered by staged suicide by hanging. Townsend served as deacon is his title, okay. As the deacon at the Kings of Kings Catholic Church, an old congregation dating back to the early 1900s. He was a beloved figure of the community, well known for his voluntary work. Reverend Hugh Winters, the pastor of the King of Kings, had the following to say: "My heart aches for Ben's soul and everything he would have left to give to the world. But I take some comfort in the fact that he is with the Lord now. And for that person or persons who did this to my friend, know that there will be a reckoning. Murder is a sin of the most vile, and God sees all." The King of Kings remains open as the crime occurred in the adjacent rectory building. However, the rectory will remain under lock and key until property consecrated. Deacon is the title given to outlawed bikers in the church. Oh yeah, that's true, yeah. Oh my gosh, so much more reading. Frangilla, a play born in the heart of our city, has captured the nation's attention. After a series of sold-out shows, rave, and reviews, the production is now set to tour nationally. Written by playwright Cassandra Beckett and set to the backdrop of Cassidy's rich history, the play's blend on drama, humor, and poignant storytelling has struck a chord with audiences. It's successful testament to the city's thriving arts scene. The national tour begins in early May and is poised to bring a piece of Cassidy's cultural spirit to theaters across the country, showcasing the talent and creative flourishing in the community. King's Beds, the regal choice. Turbo dealer, sports car specialist. All right, here we go. Soothsayer linked to 3 murders, serial killer on the loose, 3 killings in 2 months connected by foreboding signature. Deacon Benedict Townsend, age 51, was found dead on April 4th in the rectory of the King of Kings Catholic Church. Steve, we've got to keep an eye out if anything sticks out for the next murder victim as well. The cause of death was determined to be hanging, but suicide has been ruled out by the KPD. An anonymous
Rectory is a very unfortunate name for the that room in a church.
True. Culinary, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. An anonymous police source had the following to say: "Somebody else was involved. The positioning of the body and other logistics don't add up if he was alone." This scenario was eerily similar to that of Eric Holloway, the postman who met his demise through the ominous full moon night last month. Okay,
so previous month, full moon, whatever the full moon is.
Okay.
I did notice they had the moons on the calendar.
Oh, good. Yep. His death was initially treated as suicide, but later revised as a homicide. Now the Gazette brings you to the exclusive scoop. Both of these killings, as well as the brutal stabbing of Nurse Rose Taylor back in February, okay, jot that one down as well, Steve, are linked by an object left at the scene, a shattered obsidian mirror, colloquially referred to as a scrying mirror. These mirrors have been used by since ancient times. Oh, thank you very much for doing the shout out.
Just like Soothsayer. Oh, attacking his head does a lot of damage. Right.
Oh, I played this game. This was very good. I absolutely love Revengeance. I do love the slice tech in it too.
I keep forgetting which button.
Nice. And Tongs, yeah, feel free to give people shout outs when they come in for sure. Thanks for that. Okay, where were we? These mirrors have been used since ancient times to see the future or communicate with the spirit world. Does the Soothsayer responsible for these murders have a religious motive? Our source continues. It's a signature. This killer is no hack. He hasn't left any forensic evidence and can be traced back to him, so the mirror has to be deliberate. Townsend...
Why is he assuming it's a guy?
Yeah, true. Townsend was a well-liked figure of the community, known for his charity work and a long-time member of the church. Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown gave the following comment: We are not classifying these homicides of serial offences at this time, but trust we have the finest on the case. We urge readers to demand that Mitchell Brown recognises the citizens of Cassidy have been cursed with the first serial killer in history. All right, so we've got, where was it? Eric Holloway, full moon month before. Month before being March, okay?
Yeah.
And then we also have Rose in February. Okay.
Yep, I've written that down. Rose Taylor last February.
We don't know anything else other than that, though. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's going to be a clue in the previous one, but it's not going to be enough without knowing it's February.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure to look into that church later and maybe find the address. For now, let's move on to victim number 2.
Okay, let's click on these things and see if...
The King of Kings is a Catholic church here in the city. The adjacent rectory was where the third Soothsayer victim, Deacon Townsend, was killed. I'm not sure where exactly this church is, but I should be able to find out.
Okay.
Broken obsidian mirrors, so-called scrying mirrors, are the calling cards of the Soothsayer, and the main link between the murders. Deacon Benedict Townsend was the third victim of the Soothsayer. He was found hanged under suspicious circumstances.
Hanged, beautiful.
I'm not sure where exactly this church is, but I should be able to find out.
Okay. Jane Doe.
Jane Doe was the fourth victim of the Soothsayer. She was burned alive. I think I'm done with that victim for today. I should focus on my other leads for now.
Okay. So we go back to here. Oh yeah, so the 25th is this month, so if we go March, there we go.
I'm on the right track with this date, but I think I've got the full moon and the new moon confused.
Okay. Thank you for that,
Oh.
Kathy. Oh yeah.
Because I thought that, but I thought it said the full moon.
No, I had clicked it. This is full moon, this is new moon. So I clicked the wrong one.
Wow, that's not usually how that works.
Don't know.
Like the empty one is usually new, but yeah, okay.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Oh god. All right. Celebrity chef Marco Durant recently unveiled Fusion on Fifth, a new restaurant blending Asian and Western cuisines, promising an exciting and modernized culinary experience. Culinary disaster? The restaurant is planning a grand opening on April 20th, but you may struggle to find a table. Durant has announced that they'll be booked in full till June. Okay, so we also got to keep an eye out on anything February for the nurse. Okay. Police raid Cyber Shack. Cassidy Police Department conducted a raid on the popular Cyber Shack internet cafe in connection with the traffic light hacking incident that occurred last month. The operation is part of an ongoing investigation into the sophisticated cyber attack caused citywide traffic chaos, led to the seizure of several computers and electronic devices. Authorities have not released any details on specific suspect, but confirmed the raid that it was a significant step in the case. Symphony on the Streets, creative protest for classical arts. In a unique display of dissent, supporters of classical arts in Cassidy orchestrated a Symphony on the Streets protest. Musicians, dancers, and actors in various classical disciplines performed impromptu pieces in key iconic locations, transforming the sidewalks and public squares into stages. The harmonious yet powerful act was designed to draw attention to the need for balanced support of classical acts.
Like the picture in your mind is probably good of that, of like, oh, it'd be a rich cultural.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if that actually happened, it'd be just a fucking obnoxious nightmare.
Yeah, all the
Like
noise
people
and
doing their
everything.
little one-stage shows, and yeah.
Oh, it would be
Trying to draw
like
attention.
if it was like the what do you call it? Improv sort of whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, there'd be a bit
Bullshit.
of that.
Oh man, I would hate that.
Well, his line is anyways on the good side of badly, but I'm just picturing one man acts and
Performance art and stuff.
yeah,
horrible.
and performance art.
Yeah, performance art, I just never understood. Like, you could just get a handful of shit and smear it on your body and scream, and then that's art. I don't get it. Passerbys retreated the scenes from Shakespearean plays, excerpts from famous ballets, and live classical musical performances. Eleanor Vincent, a renowned local conductor and one of the event's masterminds, shared her thoughts. Our goal was to show the beauty and relevance of the classical arts in the same spaces largely dominated by modern art today. The support for the public has been overwhelming, so I believe we have succeeded. The event, both a protest and celebration of classical arts, served as a reminder that the genre's enduring impact on the city's cultural identity. The Gazette has reached out to Mayor Adams for comment. Oh, I would never do improv. The only thing that is good in improv is Curb Your Enthusiasm, but that's not standard improv. That's more like, here's the goals you need to meet for the joke, and just let the comedians just go. That's the only good shit. All right, prominent suicide morphs into homicide. Initially reported as a suicide, the death of Eric Holloway on March 12th has been officially reclassified by the KPD as a homicide. Since this public death occurred, multiple reliable witnesses have come forward claiming that the victim was pushed off the roof of the building. However, there are no detailed descriptions on the perpetrator, likely due to the limited illumination of the roof area that night. Holloway led a quiet and simple life, working as a mailman in the city, and is said to have been well liked by his peers. However, there are unverified reports of mental health problems related to the death of his fiancée last year. Okay, that could be her maybe. Police sources told us that there are links to the brutal motel stabbing, here we go, of Nurse Rose Taylor on Statehood Day, okay, which were reluctant to share further details on ongoing investigation.
Is that a fictional holiday? Because I've never heard of that before.
Statehood Day? Not too sure.
Oh, is that something about when the state was founded? I don't know.
We'll soon see. Okay, Eric. City University and Vice Chancellor Dr. Helen Baxter was forced to resign amidst fraud allegations. Accusations of misappropriating university funds, Baxter faces criminal charges, raising serious concerns about the KCU's governance and lack of oversight. Beaver's Den outdoor gear, camping, hiking, cycling and fishing. Get yours today. Rare bird spotted. Oh, where's Artie Fine when you need him? Bird watchers and ornithologists alike are flocking to the city park after the rare crimson-winged finch was spotted. Sounds great. Drawing attention to local biodiversity. The species was thought to be entirely extinct in the US, making the sighting an extraordinary historical event. Plumbing repair and replacement, 555-014-283. Wade Empire heiress takes over Wade Industries. To the surprise of many, Erica Wade, heiress of billionaire Wade family, was recently appointed as the new CEO of Wade Industries. Erica replaces her father, Charles Wade, after the impressive tenure in the role spanning 3 decades. Charles Wade has been expected to step down for some time, due to the persistent rumors of him suffering from late-stage Alzheimer's disease. However, the choice of Wade is unconventional, primarily due to the fact of her management experience. One of Erica's first acts as CEO was to conduct a dramatic reshuffling of the company's senior management. Oh, that's always good, isn't it? Our sources tell us that the Chief Operating Officer, the coup, and the Chief Financial Officer, CFO, have been replaced, with potentially more to come. In recent press release, Erica defended her actions as necessary for the company's future. Changes in leadership are essential to drive Wade Industries towards innovative and sustainable growth, she said. We are aligning our team to meet better challenges of our dynamic industry in these turbulent times. Despite reassurances, these high-profile changes have been added to the uncertainty surrounding the company's direction. Stakeholders are now watching closely to see these strategic moves will impact the company's performance and whether Erica can navigate the Wade Industries through this period of upheaval and restore confidence among the investors and staff. Sources close to the matter suggest more sinister a course of events. Never once has in a decade has the CEO had Charles ever considered her, Erica Wade, to be a serious candidate for management. This is a hostile takeover, said a senior employee who wished to remain anonymous. I bet you it's one of those. It's either the CFO or the coup.
Yeah.
The market yesterday, Nasdaq shared prices for Wade Industries dropped 18 points, marking one of the most significant single-day declines in the company's history. Okay. On Thursday, March 12th at roughly 8 p.m., a 32-year-old man leapt off the roof in the 4-story apartment building of Verdant Street, instantly killing himself in the pavement below, making a grisly spectacle for neighbors and bystanders alike. I thought this guy was hanged. Or was it the previous person?
Yeah, one of them was. Must have been the previous person.
Friends and neighbors claimed that the victim had struggled with the death of his girlfriend, but no suicide note was recovered. Events like this reiterate mental health and grief counselling, the concern with more resources available.
Wasn't this a killer, the Soothsayer killer? Like, have they not? Did I maybe piece it together later that it was a?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah.
Killed? Yeah.
If you or anyone is known, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So what was the restate day? Was it statehood day? Okay.
Okay, so it'll be statehood day on February.
Eric's address isn't too far away, but I should learn all I can here before I visit any of the crime scenes. Coming up last, the very first victim of the Soothsayer.
Assuming it's marked on the calendar as statehood day.
I hope so.
Eric Holloway was the second Soothsayer victim. He was a postal worker in his 30s who was killed by being thrown off a roof. I think I'm done with that victim for today.
Okay.
I should focus on my other leads for now.
You respect the balls of improv? I hate it. Improv has the biggest theater kid energy of all comedy. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
My throat's going to be raw like I've been doing karaoke all night.
Yeah, it is a fair bit of talking.
Okay. After 80 years, Cassiter's beloved Peterson's Bakery is closed. No, Saiku! The bakery is closed! The bakery is known for its traditional recipe and community presence. Pest control experts, 555-015740. Free inspection guarantee. Union leader ousted amid mafia allegations. Frank Davelli, the long-standing leader of Cassidy's Industrial Workers Union, was ousted following their allegations tied to organised crime. Accusations of leaders' involvement with the mafia surfaced in a recent investigation, leading to the anonymous vote of the removal from the board. The scandal has rocked the union community, with members calling for transparency and reform of the Kiwu. Pivotal in the representing workers' rights, faces crucial period of restructure and regaining public trust. Plumbing repair and replacement, 555-014283. KPD adds a new canine unit. Cassidy Police Department has bolstered its crime-fighting efforts with the expansion of its canine unit. The new team includes dogs trained in narcotics detection, tracking, and public order tasks. These furry companions have become invaluable to partners of law enforcement endeavors. This said Sergeant Maria Gonzalez, head of the K9 unit. The department demonstrated the new team's capabilities in a public event, highlighting the advanced training and strong bond with the handlers to the overall positive public perception. Hacker disrupts traffic system. On February 8, a sophisticated cyber attack disabled hundreds of traffic lights for several hours, leading to widespread chaos and significant property damage around Cassidy. Together with the help of experts at Cassidy City University, authorities are now investigating the breach, evaluating a range of cybersecurity measures for critical urban infrastructure. Cassidy's... Kiuwu. Cassidy's art funding conundrum, classical versus modern. A debate is intensifying over the allocation of city funds and arts, with growing conflict between supporters of classical arts and advocates for modern art forms. City Hall's recent push to support burgeoning street art movements, including graffiti and other experimental art forms, has traditionalists up in arms, arguing that these shifts neglect the classical arts. Mayor Adams, a vocal supporter of the new initiative, stated that it's vital that we embrace and nurture the diverse artistic expressions of the youth. Their creativity is the lifeblood of Cassidy's future and cultural hub. However, this as an approach has not been without controversy. Elizabeth Hoffman, director of the Cassidy City Orchestra Symphony Orchestra. Oh, is this why they did their bullshit to try and snuff out the youth? Express their concerns. While innovation in art cannot be understated, we shouldn't abandon the rich heritage of classical arts. These traditions are a cornerstone to the cultural identity. The debate has sparked a broader conversation about evolving nature of art and its place in society. Jackson Miller, a local street artist, argues art is constantly evolving. The city's support for modern arts reflects the changing dynamics of our community.
Yeah, so the protest was for classical versus modern
Yeah.
art funding. Yeah.
On the other side, patrons of the classical arts feel marginalized. It's disheartening to see years of tradition being overshadowed, noted Jacques Durand, a local ballet instructor. Classical arts and modern expression can coexist, but not if one is favored over the other. I bet if there was the other way, where it was favoring classic,
Just be quiet. Yeah.
Exactly. This ongoing debate highlights the challenges the cities face in balancing the support of the arts. As Cassidy navigates these cultural crossroads, the decision made today will likely shape the artistic landscape for generations to come. Okay, Satanist responsible for motel slaughter? A brutal stabbing has occurred in the Azure Sky Motel on February 5th, and our sources now say that there is an occult angle to the killing, with some sort of artifact being left at the scene. I bet it's a scrying mirror. The husband of the victim was briefly detained, but released a day later. Law enforcement claims that he remains the person of interest. However, and confirmed that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds to the chest. Okay. Rockport Royal, the royal blend. Savor the timeless elegance of lavender, peppermint, and cinnamon in every Rockport Royal. Cigarettes with peppermint, I guess, could be menthol, but lavender? Who cares? They're shit anyway. Deborah Sinclair book signing, big success. Deborah Sinclair saw a massive turnout to a recent book signing event where fans lined up for hours to get a few brief moments with the popular author. Sinclair's most recent novel, Midnight and Me, has captured the hearts of the readers nationwide, and the events of the Cassidy's legendary bookstore, Pages and Tales. Midnight and Me might be a clue there, Steve. Not only highlighted Sinclair's rising popularity, but underscored by the city's growing literary scene. Okay. The Dreamers Express rolled out. The Dreamers Express is off to a resounding start, with tickets completely sold out for the next 2 months. This unique bus service, as connecting Cassidy to LA, is the brainchild of Julia Henderson, a former actress and entrepreneur. Her vision? To create a conduit for Cassidy's burgeoning artistic talent to reach the broader stages of LA. The journey is as important as the destination, Henderson asserts. Each bus, painted with murals depicting the scenes from Cassidy's rich cultural tapestry, is a mobile canvas. Inside, passengers find a mini gallery of local arts and collections of writings. Henderson has inspiration come from her own experiences. I made the trip to LA years ago, full of dreams. It's a pilgrimage for many, she reflects. The route that she designs includes stops at historical landmarks and creative hotspots, aiming for fuel inspiration. Despite the hard truths of the entertainment industry, Henderson believes that the power of the journey, it's about the experiencing life, embracing failure and success. Whoop.
What's that?
MVP Lisa's brought me a coffee.
Oh.
Oh, it's good. I can wet the pipes for a second.
I thought you might have, because there was a whoop and then you went quiet. It's like, did you just yank something out of the socket or?
Oh, no. Despite the hard truth of the entertainment industry, Henderson believes that the power of the journey, it's about experiencing life. Embracing failure, success alike, our city's history of resilience is our greatest teacher. For tickets, either visit downtown bus station, blah, 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 or blah, 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 blah. All right, here we go. A view from outside the Azure Sky Motel. On February 7th, Rose Amanda Taylor, age 47, was found dead by Robert Tippett, the owner of the Azure Sky Motel. Taylor had been stabbed to death by an unknown perpetrator. Blood everywhere, like a goddamn butcher room, Tippett said, eyes wide, and continues to emphasize, "This city is going to hell. You go ahead and print that." Neighbors report hearing a commotion for the room, but it was apparently a regular occurrence, so no one went to investigate. Taylor is survived by a husband and 2 children who have declined to request to be interviewed. The husband was briefly detained, but is no longer considered a suspect. If you have any information about her murder, call this number. Okay.
I just find that a weird sentence, saying someone survived by their spouse and children.
Yeah.
All right,
That's very-
that should be everything on the microfilms. I think I'll continue to focus on gathering information today and then head to each of the murder sites tomorrow.
Achievement. Collected all the newspaper articles. And personal achievement, Bolt reads all articles from newspapers. All right, let's see chat for a second. Precious baked goods denied. Psycho, when you go to Iceland, boy, do I have a treat recommendation for you. Holy crap, the best bakery I've ever been to. Okay, Bolt walks into the Bath and Body Works and says, "Hey, which of these is the best smoke up? Best to smoke up?" Yeah. I was watching Hard Quiz. For those that have never heard of Hard Quiz, and there was a thing on lavender actually, which was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I forgot it was from Hard Quiz, but I was thinking to myself, I've gotten facts from Lavender recently from something.
Yeah, good old Hard Quiz. Carl, if you ever want an Australian show to watch that is a lot of fun, Hard Quiz is it's like a game show, but every contestant is a very special, unique individual, and they do it deliberately to make the best sort of comedic and entertaining experience.
Yeah, so this is a comic. It's kind of like one of those ones where everyone picks their own subject.
Hard Quiz. Do you want to do a... Hang on.
Yeah, that you typed it correctly. I was about to type it, but that's correct.
Yeah. So good. Oh, I better save the game. We haven't done it yet. Save. Cool. Maybe we can talk to this.
One more thing.
Yes?
Oh, we got a lot more stuff to talk about. Sweet. Oh, and it's grayed out now. That's great.
Chat with
What do you
David
know
Wenham
about
for
Jane Doe,
ages.
the 4th Soothsayer victim?
Apart from Deborah Sinclair, I can't offer much insight on the Soothsayer victims.
Oh, that's cool that it actually marked out all the
Yeah.
victims. That's smart.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Not much, unfortunately. They're not within my area of expertise.
Do you know anything about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not familiar with that church, sorry.
How are we going to find out where that is?
Are you familiar with the Azure Sky Motel?
I'm afraid not.
What's this? Oh, is that just put it down? Can we tase him?
I don't want to show that to him.
Okay.
I don't want to show that to him. I don't want to show that to him.
Okay.
I don't see a reason to show him those. I'm sure he knows more about Deborah Sinclair than me.
Can we take a photo of him?
I don't want to show that to him.
Yeah. Can we brush his face?
I don't want to show that to him. The microfilms were a great help. I got these nice prints out of them.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you found them useful.
The microfilms were a great help.
Oh,
I got these nice prints out.
Oh,
The micro.
oh,
The mic.
oh, that's
okay. Exhausted all of that. Beautiful. It's weird that this is like you could just hit X. What's this for? Oh, that's just to minimize and that.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'll come back if I have more questions.
very well. Good luck.
Does that mean you can point out, like, click things in the scene to get him to talk about with someone?
Oh, let's have a look.
One more thing.
Yes?
Oh,
Those boxes over there can be rented anonymously,
great.
right?
Yes. Would you like me to set that up for you?
Not right now. But if I'm evicted in a few weeks, I might just take you up on that.
Oh, I sincerely hope it doesn't come to that.
Can I borrow one of those magazines?
Yes, but only for reading here in the library. You're not allowed to exit the building with them.
Got it. Thanks.
okay.
This place has been around for a while now, hasn't it?
Well, that depends on your frame of reference, but the library turns 110 next year.
Damn. Must be one of the oldest buildings still standing in the city then.
Most likely, yes.
I saw that Deborah Sinclair was one of the financial contributors to the library.
Indeed. This place had gone through a rough patch, and I'm told that her gift came just in the nick of time, saving the library from closure.
Oh.
I don't want to ask him about that. I don't want to ask him about that. I don't want to ask him about that.
I do like that you can ask about things. That's good.
I don't want to ask him about that.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
Is there anything I need to do now?
The Azure Sky Motel is the location of the first Soothsayer killing, the stabbing of Rose Taylor. The Catmobile is running on fumes, so I should give this place a call rather than head over. I'll need a number first, though.
Okay. Right. So we've got to get the number of that. Just remember that, Steve.
Rose Taylor, a nurse, was the first Soothsayer victim. She was stabbed to death in the Azure Sky Motel. I should see what I can find out about that motel. Eric Holloway was the second Soothsayer victim. He was a postal worker in his 30s who was killed by being thrown off a roof. I think I'm done with that victim for today. I should focus on my other leads for now.
Okay.
The King of Kings is a Catholic church here in the city. The adjacent rectory was where the third Soothsayer victim, Deacon Townsend, was killed. I'm not sure where exactly this church is, but I should be able to find out. Broken obsidian mirrors, so-called scrying mirrors, are the calling cards of the Soothsayer, and the main link between the murders. Deacon Benedict Townsend was the third victim of the Soothsayer. He was found hanged under suspicious circumstances. I'm not sure where exactly this church is, but I should be able to find out.
How are we going to find out about the church? Was there a number in the... I'm just thinking about the newspaper article. Maybe there was a... Because they mentioned that the rectory is closed. But the... We'll have a look.
Maybe there's a miscellaneous ad in the borders that we're reading, and we probably didn't think much of it the first time, but might be an ad for the Azure Sky Hotel, and that would give us a number.
True.
I think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers.
I'll just grab something, I'll be back.
Church tragedy. Okay, not this one. Oh, we can just go through them. That's pretty good. We could call the cop shop maybe, and they might be able to tell us. I'll add this into the chat. 583. $175.
I'm back.
Cool. The music that Sting that just played just then reminds me of Grounded.
Okay. Oh yeah. The da 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 da.
See bus station reservation. Okay. I'm thinking we need to go home to make some phone calls.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
This is a great song. It's so cool.
Mm.
Thankfully, I don't need to make any calls right now. Every time I pick that thing up, I pray there's still a dial tone.
Damn. What about the phone book? What the? What? Hang on a sec. One moment.
I don't know what's happening now.
Okay, that was weird. That was super weird. No, just outside my window, there was a dog. And like, this is inside my property. It's like, we don't have a dog. And there's just kids knocking on the door just then to get their dog. Weird. Anyway.
Got the number. I'll call first and see if a visit makes sense. God knows I have to be careful with those last drops of gas left in the bike.
And the other one was King of Kings.
Great. I've got the address to the church. I'll head over there tomorrow.
Beautiful.
I should see if I can find out more about Rose Taylor. I bet somebody at the motel has some useful information to share.
I feel like this game is excellent at this whole private eye business. It feels like we're actually getting shit done.
Yeah. That's actually research.
Saiku, this is our kitty. Her name is Mildred.
And I didn't notice it, but Bob pointed out that she was looking out the window until this guy visited that our character talked to, and the whole duration the cat looked at him and then turned back to the window when he was gone.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was just talking with Lisa. What was that, Steve?
I repeated that thing that you noticed about the cat watching the person when he was there and then turning back to the window when he wasn't.
Yeah.
I've already caught myself a little serial killer, haven't I? Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, the kids came and got the dog. It was like a husky hybrid dog, so it was like quite large. And to see it outside my window just being like, just a random dog, it like took me by surprise.
Looking for something to pounce on? Oh, I bet.
I'll never get sick of clicking this kitty. Beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop.
Thank you for calling the Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi there. This is Kathy Rain from Rain Investigations. I have some questions.
All right, then.
I like that it's a phone as the portrait, because you don't know who it is. That's very good.
So, I hear that one of your tenants was murdered back in February? Rose Taylor.
No shit. Here I thought the boys in blue ransacked this whole place just for shits and giggles.
That happens more often than you'd think. Come on, man. Help a girl out.
Sorry for the attitude, but you know you're the umpteenth person to ask about that, right?
I get that, so how about we stick with the short version?
Fine. No, I don't know anything that isn't in the papers. No, you can't see the room. It's rented out. And even if you did go in there, there's nothing that the cops or cleaners haven't removed since friggin' February.
Are we gonna have to book that room?
Understood. So what
There
about
won't
the
be any
next of
trace of
kin?
anything left.
She had a husband, right?
Yeah, he came by later to pick up the personal effects. I just met the guy for a few minutes.
Did you catch his name?
I did, but I don't think he'd appreciate me giving out his name to some random lady on the phone. No offense.
I am a bit offended, actually. I'm not some random lady. I'm a licensed private investigator and a renowned one at that. Ever hear of the Whitmore affair?
That does sound familiar.
Well, that was me. Now, here's a friendly piece of advice. Choose the path of least resistance. I can be a much bigger pain in the ass than this Mr. Taylor, believe me.
All right, fine. It's Orson. Orson Taylor.
Okay.
That wasn't so hard, was it? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
I'm Kathy Rain, bitch.
Yeah. Don't you know who I am? Exactly. Oh yeah, Psycho, that is definitely a power move. To just like keep looking you in the eye as the dog is pooping. Yeah.
What can you tell me about Orson Taylor, Rose's husband?
Nothing much. Like I said, I only saw the guy once, a week or so after the murder.
Okay. How do you seem?
Like you'd expect. Messed up. Couple of kids, too. Breaks my heart, truth be told.
Yeah, it sounds like it does.
So, if Rose was married and had 2 children, what was she doing in your motel?
Now that's the million-dollar question, ain't it? You'll get no answer from me. Even if I could keep track of all of our tenants, I don't make a habit of sticking my nose in their personal affairs.
Huh. Was she a regular then?
Not really, just a couple of bookings in January and February. Look, I think I've said enough. Any other questions? We need to wrap this up. I've got calls on the other line.
Oh, can we do this and go?
I don't need to ask him about anything in the room. I don't
By the
need to
way, I've
ask
got
him
an
about
empty
anything
bottle
in
of
the room.
tequila in the room. In my room.
I don't need to ask him about anything in the room.
Oh, I would say, do you like cats? I got this really, really cute one named Mildred.
Do you know anything about scrying mirrors?
Only that our psycho killer enjoys breaking them around his victims, but I have no interest in understanding a nut like that.
What can you tell me about your motel?
The Azure Sky is a long-time family business. We've been serving tenants faithfully for over 40 years now.
Oh, wow, quite a while. So, how many tenants do you have?
We don't keep records of the number of tenants, but we have 50 rooms of varied sizes. We're about 3/4 full, but expecting to be fully booked during tourist season in the summer.
Wait, tourists actually come to Cassidy? Somebody deserves a raise for one hell of a marketing campaign.
No patriot of the community, huh? That's a shame. This city has a lot more to offer than people like you give it credit for.
To each their own, I guess. What do you know about the Soothsayer?
I know more than I'd like to. I could have gone without a close view of his handiwork, that's for sure.
I can imagine. A brutal stabbing, I take it?
No offense, but I'd rather not go over that again. It's all in the papers, if you're so dead set on getting all the gory details.
I think that's it.
That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
Okay, let's look at our book.
I should try to get in touch with Orson Taylor next. Hopefully he's willing to talk to me. All right, found the husband's number. Here's hoping he's willing to talk to me.
Nice. Let's try.
Nope. Lots of Taylors in there, but no Rose. I guess that makes sense, seeing as how this phone book was issued a couple months after her death.
Has your number ever been in a phone book, Steve? I remember there was like a slight overlap to when I became an adult, when phone books started disappearing.
Yeah, probably not, because, well, I don't think I've ever... I've got a landline now. I don't know if that's in the phone book, because it's a VoIP number.
Right.
So I don't think so, because mobile phones wouldn't be in a phone book, would they?
Yeah, I guess not. It would have been when I had a landline.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a number in a phone book.
I have his address already. Doing that once was enough. That doesn't make any sense to look up in the phone book. Nope, nothing. Maybe I'll have more luck with the church. That won't work. Jane Doe is not the actual victim's name. It's just a placeholder name used to describe an unidentified woman.
You think there's any people actually named Jane Doe in the world? Probably is, right?
Yeah, sure, because they have to be cruel parents to have a surname Doe and go, let's name our child Jane.
You have 2 kids, boy and a girl, Jane and John Doe. Yeah.
No dice. Hardly a shocker, she was a celebrity. Huh.
Okay.
Doing that once was enough.
How do I click across? Okay.
Orson Taylor is the surviving husband of Rose Taylor, the first Soothsayer victim. Police have excluded him as a suspect.
Okay, then we're going to click on the phone to do it. Yeah, there we go.
You've reached the Taylors. No one's home right now, but if you leave your details after the beep, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. This is Kathy Rain, private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. You can reach me at 555-142-062. Thanks in advance. Bye. I think I followed up on what I can today for each of the different victims. Just one thing left to do. I noticed that the Gazette had the best coverage of the Soothsayer out of all the city papers. I think it's time to pay a dear old friend a visit.
New location added. Do you guys hate leaving voice messages? Because I certainly do. I don't know why it is, but I get sort of like put on the spot, and in my head I know whatever I say is going to be recorded, and I end up just sounding like an absolute dickhead.
Yeah. Because it's like you're doing a one-way conversation, and that's really awkward.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that gets me.
Exactly. You know what? I reckon we're at the 2-hour mark, or 2 hours 15. So I reckon we might call it here. We've done a whole bunch. Off to the Gazette. Perfect.
That's
Awesome.
the first time chatter, and that's username's ironic because the Catherine 1 coffee was the answer at one point.
Yeah, for sure. Coffee is the answer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always the
If
answer.
you want to kill someone's plan to distract them.
Yeah, definitely a good first day. Thank you very much for the follow. Hello.
Hello, Baltimore. Someone new is following you. Looks like I've got competition.
A lot of reading today. Reading all those papers is giving me a bit of I think I might need a soother or something. But very, very cool. I am absolutely loving this so far. Everything seems like it's well designed. Yeah, good shit. Really, really great cats. Oh, you played this recently? Nice. Well, hopefully we played Kathy Rain 1 about 1.5 years ago, give or take, and loved it. And we've been itching to play this one. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We will be back with more midweek point and click next week. As for streams coming up, Sunday we have the Bolt is Strange series. We're going through Life is Strange 2. That's always a good one. We're at an interesting section of that where there was just some random boobs in the game. Didn't expect that, but here we are. But yeah, make sure that you do something.
Oh, what's 2? Yeah.
What's that?
I forgot about that scene in Bolt is Strange.
Oh yeah, you got to go back and review the footage.
Yeah, like I said, if there's a way to wear out a VOD, like you used to be able to do for VHS tapes.
Oh, you sicko. All right, well, let us lock you guys into a raid. We want to share the love to our friends.
It's like there's the Drew Carey show where he puts his VCR in for repair, and the repairman goes,
Steve is such a
sometimes
filth bag.
buttons get worn out, but I've never seen someone wear out the pause button more than any of the others.
All right, locked you guys into the raid cannon, inserting the bullets, ready to fire you off into Lunar Droid stream. Say hello. He is playing Street Fighter 6. Bless you, Steve. Do something for yourself this weekend. Really nice. Go have yourself a delicious coffee. Yeah, or takeaway night. I've got some pizza in the fridge from last night, so I'm excited to have that for lunch. All right. We will see you next time.